Hi, my name is Dean Paul Deniston, and today we're replacing the front and back tire and inner tube on the Razor Dirt Quad. This is an easy process. It should take you approximately 30 minutes from start to finish. You will need the following tools: a 6mm Allen wrench, a tire pump. I'm using an electric one, but you can use a manual one if that's all you have. And lastly, a socket wrench with a 13mm and 19mm socket. This process can be completed in 4 easy steps. Step 1, removing the wheel. Step 2, removing the tire and the inner tube. Step 3, installing your new tire and inner tube. And step 4, reinstalling the wheel. Now let's get started on step 1, removing the wheel. Using your 19mm socket wrench, remove the nut in the center of the front wheel. When you remove the nut, make sure not to lose the washer that comes with it. Using your 6mm Allen wrench, remove the 3 bolts inside of the wheel. These 3 bolts have lock washers and flat washers. Make sure not to lose them. With all 3 bolts removed, we can now remove the wheel. Grab it and pull straight out. And that concludes step 1, removing the wheel. And now on to step 2, removing the tire and the inner tube. Let's first remove the dust cap from the valve stem. Using your Allen wrench, press the pin in the center of the valve stem to drain the air out. Now we have to remove the remaining 3 bolts from the wheel. Using your 6mm Allen wrench and your 13mm socket wrench, remove the 3 bolts. With all the bolts removed, we can now separate the wheel. Grab one side and pull straight out. And do the same for the other side. Now remove the inner tube by pulling straight out of the tire. And that concludes step 2, removing the tire and inner tube. Now on to step 3, installing your new tire and inner tube. Put your new inner tube inside of your new tire. Simply stuff it in. Now we can put the 2 halves of the wheel together. You'll notice one side has indents while the other side's smooth. The side with the indents goes on the outside. That's the side the valve stem goes through. Place the valve stem through the hole in the wheel. And place the other half on, lining up the holes. Now we can install the 3 bolts that don't have the lock washers. Insert them from the back side, that's the opposite side of the valve stem. Make sure they come through in a spot with indents. Slide on a flat washer. And thread on the nut. They go in every other hole. Using your 6mm Allen wrench and your 13mm socket, tighten down those 3 bolts. With the 3 bolts secure, it's now time to inflate the tire. Remove the dust cap. Attach your tire pump. And inflate to 30 psi. Remove the tire pump. And reinstall your dust cap. And that concludes step 3, installing your new tire and inner tube. Now on to step 4, reinstalling your wheel. Slide your wheel onto the axle, making sure the valve stem is on the outside. Now line up the holes in the wheel and reinstall the 3 bolts with their lock washer and flat washer. Using your 6mm Allen wrench, tighten them down. With the 3 bolts secure, now let's install the axle nut with the washer. Place the washer on, and put on the axle nut. Using your 19mm socket, tighten it down. And that concludes step 4, installing the new wheel. Now the process for the back wheel is mostly the same, but instead of a nut securing the wheel to the axle, we have a bolt. This bolt can be removed with a 6mm Allen wrench. I hope you found this video helpful and informative, but if you are still having any other troubles or complications, please feel free to visit the customer support section on Razor.com. Now get out there and have some fun. Bye bye.